Hello, my name is Amanda Gundanach. The artistic creation that I chose is the novel 13 Reasons Why, written by the author Jay Asher. It was published in 2007. So while I was reading this book, I found a lot of different themes. So the main ones that I found are death, guilt, blame, respect, reputation, betrayal, sex, violence, choices, and love. So these themes are represented during the whole story by the presence of different literary devices like onomatopoeia, metaphor, idioms, and hyperbole. So when I read the first sentence, which is, "Hey, it's Hannah Baker," I immediately figured out that she was probably the main character of the book since she's the first person to talk. And also, um, I thought that there was a pretty good chance that she was talking to someone, and I felt like she was actually talking to the people that are reading the book. I got the impression, after reading the first sentence, that Hannah Baker was going to tell a very interesting story. So, while reading this novel, I also noticed that there was a lot of different literary devices. So the first one I found is a onomatopoeia. Sorry, I have trouble pronouncing it. And this is the quote I found on page 45 to represent this device. So, the moment I open the door, the man at the register rings me up. Cha-ching! Even before I pick up a candy bar. So, cha-ching represents the noise of the bell when Hannah opens the door of the grocery store. So that is onomatopoeia, is when you explain with words the noise of something. The other device I found is a metaphor. So the example I found on page 48 is, "Inside I knew Wally was a ball of rage." The other example I found of a device is an idiom. So the quote on page 66, "A tiny wrench of jealousy twisted up my inside." And the last device I found is hyperbole on page 152. "This place has been around forever." So hyperbole creates an effect, a noticeable effect that catches the reader's attention. So it catch my attention, so I think it worked. And a quick summary of the story I read. So it's a story about a young teenager girl named Hannah Baker who commits suicide because she says that she was bullied in high school. Before her death, she records a set of 13 tapes that each contains a reason why she killed herself. So each reason relates to a person, and each of those 13 people have to listen to the tapes and pass the rest of the tapes to another person. So pass it on. And they must follow what Hannah says, so follow the rules, because if anyone decides to break the chain, a separate set of tapes will be released to the public. So Mr. Asher's inspiration while writing this book was actually a relative of his who tried to commit suicide. So that was his main inspiration. So I found a couple of interesting information. So according to the National Center for Educational Statistics in 2016, more than 1 out of every 5 students reported being bullied. So according to another study, there was only 36% of the kids who reported being bullied. So it shows that students don't find it easy to talk about being bullied. So this novel represents the novel 13 Reasons Why represents the reality, and it also shows that some people go through hard times and go through hard events like Hannah Baker. So I think the main message that Jay Asher was trying to express while writing his novel 13 Reasons Why was that suicide isn't an option. So while reading the book, you can feel how sad Hannah's relatives are, how disappointed they are of not knowing why she killed herself, because her parents and her relatives didn't know that she was being bullied. And you can see that all the good people who loved her are left behind. So the book ends with one word, The one word is sky. So I was really surprised by the ending of the book because it's very rare that we see a book finished with one word. And why sky? Actually, Sky is this other girl in the book that we don't even really hear about. And when we hear about her, it's only to hear that she's a mysterious girl and that no one really talks to her. She's a bit left aside, and I think that the author finished the book this way because he was trying to tell us something important. So maybe Sky was going through something like Hannah, similar to Hannah's experience. And I was wondering, would there be a second book, but this time a whole different story, and it would be about Sky and not about Hannah? So to finish, one word that means a lot is just like one decision that can change everything. Thank you.